All right, everyone, welcome back to The Country Called Us. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been here before or you're one of our regular followers, thanks for stopping back. If you're new here, we are a family preparing to move from the city to a homestead. Uh, Raw land, set it up ourselves, how we want, and at our pace, and we're going to video all that. This is our journey that we're on right now. We have a lot of videos of things that we've bought, things that we've done, shelf stable menus, things like that. But today is going to be a little different. We don't get into too many controversial things on this channel, and it won't be too controversial. But today we're going to talk about some of the things going on in the world today and how it impacts homesteading. As of right now, since 2022, there's been 25% more people aged 19 to 23 that are moving to homestead setting, raw land, buying land, which is a hike because it's usually not too many young people doing it. It's usually people not older, but in their 30s, late 20s, 30s that start out. Some even in their 60s. You'd be surprised. I've seen it. But with everything going on nowadays, I mean, you got the SNAP issues, you got the presidential issues, you got you know Governor of New York, you got all kinds of different crazy issues going on in the world. Um, being sending money here, sending money there. Uh, People are scared. Are getting nervous with what's going on. This is the first generation that doesn't know how to work hard for what we don't know how to go without, and that's where we failed. We try to do things better for our kids and try to make things better for our kids, and in essence, we've kind of made it harder on them because as they grow up, they're not used to uh, the lifestyle that we led. Everything to them is immediate. They turn on the TV, it's immediate. You turn the channel, it's there. Internet, you turn it on, it's immediate. Phones. We didn't have things like that growing up. You went out and played, and you made things happen, and you were bored. Oh well, you know what I mean. My mom used to say, "If you're bored, find something to do. I'll find you something to do," and that usually meant cleaning or something around the house. But the world today, a lot of people, everything's immediate. We're expected to have everything right at our fingertips. Everything is there for us. And now with everything going on, wars overseas, things like that, uh, homesteading is becoming a bigger culture. And I mean, that's fine. That's great. You know what I mean? Going back to the old ways is always nothing wrong with that at all. That's not why we're doing it. I mean, we just want the freedoms that you could get in that lifestyle, things like that. But the problem with it is in the city, everything's immediate. Everything's right at your fingertips. Everything's where you need it. Everything's accessible. Uh, you go to a homestead or a farm or a ranch style life, you have to wait for it to grow. You have to make it happen. You have to build the fences. You have to, raise the livestock, the chickens, the eggs, the cows, the milk. Whatever, you got to do it all yourself. So that's why it's surprising that some younger generations are moving into that lifestyle because not all. I know a lot of younger kids that work hard and their parents taught them well. But it's not just their parents. You can teach them whatever you want, but it's society in a whole that shows these kids that or makes them believe that life is easy because everything's right there at your fingertips. And now with the threat of things going on in the world, Russia talking about having nukes, and China buying farmland everywhere, trying to get a hold on the farms and the food production. Things are getting scary for people, and it's not just preppers anymore. It's not just people that are or conspiracy theorists, or scared of what's going, the world around them, and they're prepping for 20 years. But now people are prepping on a daily basis, and if you're not prepping, to some extent, you know, you might be in trouble eventually. One, it'll save you a little bit of money. We have some videos on some shelf-stable recipes that we found that saves money on grocery bills. Found that saves money on quick and easy. I mean, that's not really money, but it saves you time and effort. But they can be stored for up to a year or longer, just sitting on your shelf. One jar, you're ready to go. Cook it. All you gotta do is cook it, and you're good to go. But the point of the matter is with everything going on, you got to be careful. If you're not, prepping at least a little bit, like I said, have some sort of redundancy in your life. When we talk a lot about that on our channel, redundancy, having more than just one. When we moved, we decided that if there's grid power available, we'll probably connect to the grid, obviously, but we're going to be mainly off grid, and we'll have to use the grid power. But if something would go wrong, we have what we would need to run for weeks, probably months, off grid. Everything we have, all our appliances, everything would run perfectly fine. Water, it works. Your TVs, your internet, whatnot. If the grid would go down, we'd have that. Again, that's having a storage of food, shelf-stable food. What if where we live, a lot of snow, cold in the winters, this time of year. Can't get out, snowing, you know what I mean? Or there's an accident and you can't get to the store because of the snow, what have you. Or, you've seen hurricanes, floods, what have you. You know what I mean? With a little bit of prep, you can live a little bit better doing those things. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not, those things aren't nice, they're not fun, they're not great. But with a little bit of prep, you can live a little better during those emergencies. And you can help your neighbors and you can help yourself if that's what you want to do. But in the city, we don't think like that because the store's right down the road or it's right over there and you got neighbors everywhere. But the problem with prepping in the city is no one else is prepping. No one else has the redundancies. No one else has generators or food stored on a shelf or, backup for anything, whether it be emergencies or blackouts or just your regular old powers down, lines down, transformer blew. We had a transformer blow a couple months ago, you know what I mean? It was down for a while. But, the power went down, we were ready. Our stove is propane, we have propane. Furnace is propane. I have generators. I have solar generators. Water we always have cases of water on hand. We obviously would do shelf-stable recipes. We've been making those and storing them. And it's the best thing you could do because anything can happen. You never know what's going to happen, when, where, or how. But what's going to happen is your neighbors, after a week, they see you're surviving and they're not. Say something happens and it's, people are going to be knocking on your door. Can you feed your whole neighborhood? Can you supply power for your whole neighborhood? Can you help everybody that's around you? No. And what happens when you can't help people get upset. Soon it starts into, again, things that are going on now with the SNAP situation. People are looting stores. I understand you don't want to starve. No one wants to starve. I think it's a messed up situation. Some ways, there's a lot of different parts to it. I don't want to get into that. But there's videos out there now. People are looting, but they're not looting for food. They're stealing clothes and they're going to, workout stores and stealing speakers and Walmart stealing, TVs. TVs are gone. What does that have to do with you surviving? That's not going to help you survive. So that's my point. But this channel, I'm going to branch off a little bit on our channel. I'm going to have a couple of these videos here and there. Just some talking points on things that are affecting homesteading. And it affects homesteading in a big way because more people are moving to that life. So land is going up, which is good for the people that own land. The price of land is going up. But for those of you that are, thinking about it or considering it, or maybe it's in the back of your mind, now is the time to do it. The more people to move, obviously, the more supply, the more demand for the supply, the prices are going to go up. So the more people that are moving, the more people that are doing it, it's going to go up to the roof. Grocery prices are up to the roof. Beef prices, there's a whole little thing on that too. But if you have your own land where you can have two or three little cows or a couple chickens, maybe whatever it is two pigs, whatever it is you want, you can make your own hamburger, pork, chicken, eggs, things like that. You could survive off of that for a lot longer than someone could here in the city where I live. If the grocery store goes down or the power goes out for weeks and they don't have no power and they don't have no way to keep the things cold or refrigerated, then what do we do? We're got issues. And you would think that some of these places have backup generators, but they don't. They assume that, just like I assumed for years living in the city, I'll be back on in an hour, or, 2 hours, maybe a day at the most. We can last it out. But there's going to be times where it may not be a day or two, and it may not be able to last it out. So, that's one of the reasons why we want to start our own homestead, so we can be self-sufficient, bringing our own animals, bringing our own gardens and vegetables and microgreens and all that, and try to be as self-sufficient as possible. That way we don't have to depend on these things. If something goes wrong, we'll be okay. The people around us will be okay. And that's what I'm asking. Ask yourself right now, what would happen if the power went out for a week, 2 weeks? What would you do? Would you be ready? Drop a comment in the comments for me. Thank you. Again, this country called us. It's my first time doing this, guys, by my own, so don't hit me too hard in the comments, picking on me. But like I said, drop a comment in the comments. Let me know what you would do if the power went out for 2 weeks. Would you make it? I know I would, but I don't know about the people around me. And I would try to help as many as I could, but you can't help everybody. So you're better off being prepared. The more people that are prepared, the better off things will be. All right, guys, we got our live stream on Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Come check us out. Peace out and have a nice day.